Dune Part 2 is coming out soon, and it already has so many grand reviews from people all over the world. But while I would love to talk about this movie to death, the director for Dune 2, Denis Villeneuve, is someone who I would rather talk about more at the moment because he let his voice run wild and said a few hot takes recently about movies as a whole, such as young people liking longer movies and want to make movies with no dialogue. So yeah, I want to talk about that and give my 2 cents. So one of the first things he said is that nowadays, people, more specifically young people, would rather watch longer movies, which is why he wasn't afraid to make Dune Part 2 about 3 hours long. And he brings up examples like Oppenheimer to prove that people are willing to watch movies that are 3 hours long and be massive hits despite them being R-rated and dialogue heavy. Now honestly, I do kind of agree with this take, because I would be more than willing to watch a movie for 3 hours, but I'm not willing to watch any movie for 3 hours. In other words, a film needs to deserve every single minute of its screen time to justify me watching it for the first time and then maybe doing it again. For example, Argyle, that's a terrible movie that was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. It's an example of a movie that is way too long and doesn't deserve at least 40 minutes of its screen time. However, a movie like Across the Spider-Verse, which is around the same movie length as Argyle, that is a film that deserves its screen time because the movie itself was fantastic. Hell, even when it ended, I would be more than willing to watch it and even pay for another 3 hours of this because the story is so good. And it's the same thing with movies like Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Mission Impossible. But with movies like Avatar: The Way of Water, or even The Batman, those movies could have done with a little bit of trimming because the pacing for both of them were really boring at times. But yeah, longer films don't make a movie good, but if you make a movie good, you deserve a longer film. But anyways, Villeneuve moved on to talk about how he hates dialogue and how it's only good for things such as TV or plays, but when you're in a movie theater with a massive screen in front of you, the thing that you should be prioritizing the most is visuals, not what the characters are talking about. And he even went on to say that he would be willing to make a movie that has no dialogue, but since we don't live in a perfect world, studios wouldn't allow him to do that. Now this is something I fundamentally disagree with. Characters talking to each other and dialogue as a whole is without a doubt important and should not be prioritized over visuals. I mean, this guy brought up Oppenheimer not too long ago, which is a movie that has more dialogue than a biology textbook, and that movie was fantastic because of what the characters were talking about. And bro even went on to say that he doesn't remember movies because of a good line, which is crazy to hear and borderline unbelievable. I mean, pretty sure most of our movies, which are our favorite movies, are only our favorite movies because of a special line, how it was written, how it was delivered, and acted. So yeah, I don't know what he's saying. Dialogue is super important. It helps an audience understand what is going on in the movie and helps them connect with the characters as well. And the prioritization of images over words is not exactly the best mindset, even for a successful auteur like Denis Villeneuve. But yeah, thanks for watching.